Hello, Team Alabama One. We're glad to be joining you for another edition of Words of Encouragement. We're looking at winning traits of great teams. And joining me today is our Chief Lending Officer, Jason Halpern. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well, Martin. How are you doing today?
Doing good, good. Looking forward to this edition of Words of Encouragement. I'm going to be looking at some key traits. The importance of recognition is kind of the reason we chose the topics we're going to talk about. Recognition and letting the people who are doing the job know that the leadership team sees the sacrifices and the commitments that they've made. There's a lot of qualities, and I want to make sure I get them all that we've kind of seen exhibited: commitment, team effort, execution, perseverance, focus, drive, discipline. These are all some of the traits that we've seen our team show and exhibit over the last 6 months. And we're going to dive into just a few of them. And the first one, Jason, let's look at is commitment. What is commitment? I know it's kind of a hard to define word. So it may be easy for you just defining what you've seen in terms of commitment from our team.
Sure. Well, first of all, hello, everybody. Our team is committed in so many different ways. Commitment to me is just a matter of seeing something to the end, making a decision to see something to a successful end. And in every department and every branch, we have team members who are committed to seeing things till the end. Probably a good example of that is the conversion, the merger of the two data systems that we just merged recently. We had everyone from the ARECU members that were committed to learning as much as they possibly could, to our team members that were committed to making sure that the merger went off as well as possible for their members, for our team members. There are people committed every day, all day in this institution, and we're just very blessed to have such good teammates.
Yeah, and I've had the privilege over the years to be a part of some great teams on the field as well as in the corporate world. And there's a trait to me that we throw it out there, and I think you really probably just find it a little bit even in your last example. But another trait of great teams is that you have team effort. In other words, it's not one individual over here pushing in one direction, one over here, but that team effort. Kind of talk about what you've seen from our team over the last 6 months.
Well, I think if there is one trait that defines this organization, it is teamwork. And both of us coach sports. We kind of grew up on sports. Our leadership styles are very, very sports oriented. And the best thing to me about this organization is the teamwork. Again, the merger is fresh in my mind, so I'll use that as one example. We took people from all different departments that don't generally work in these areas, whether it was testing, whether it was IT areas, whatever it was. We took people from all different departments, pulled them out of their departments. So the people that stayed in the departments had to take on additional work. These folks, for about 2 weeks before merger, really 3 months before merger, but especially the last couple of weeks, were pulled out of their day job. They were testing data, they were validating data. And again, like I said, the rest of their teammates had to pull up the slack. They had to do more work. That's one example. Another example is really during the last 3 months, while the branches have been closed, we've had less members in the branches. We've pulled people from all different departments and asked them to work in other departments. And the team, not only do they do it encouraged, they do it happy, they do it willingly, and they do a great job while they're doing it. Our mortgage department has had 3 or 4 different people from 3 or 4 different areas hop in and do whatever it takes to help them get the job done. And to me, that's what being a team is all about.
Yeah, and it's a corny saying, but together everyone achieves more.
Absolutely.
And that's what we've seen from our team. There's these next two qualities go hand in hand: perseverance and discipline. Even though the entire team at Alabama One has been unbelievable when it comes to perseverance and discipline, I think our mortgage department, let's give a little shout out to them in terms of what they've been able to do, Jason, in terms of those two qualities over the last 6 months.
Well, I think most of you know, but in case anybody doesn't, the mortgage department the last 3 months has closed more loans than ever in the history of this credit union. And really, we are close. We've closed about close to $50 million in the last 3 months. Last year was the best year we've had in several years, and we closed $65 million all of last year.
So whoa. We've closed $50 million in the last 3 months. Last year was one of our best years ever, and it was 65
That's right.
for 12 months.
It's incredible, and they're doing that with maybe 2 additional team members from what they had last year.
Wow.
So when you talk about perseverance, it has been difficult for them. I mean, if any of you guys see a member of the mortgage team, please give them an elbow bump or whatever we can do in these social distancing times. Please give them a thank you, because they're working a ton of overtime. They're working weekends. They're doing whatever they can to get these mortgage closed as quick as they can. But again, I want to thank everybody, because there's other teams, there's other departments, there's other branches that have sacrificed their team members to help get these mortgage closed.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of, once again, commitment, teamwork, team effort, perseverance, and discipline. We've seen that, from everyone, but I did really want to highlight that example. 2 more traits I want to get to, because I think this covers the entire organization as a whole, and that's courage and execution in terms of watching our team members, especially our frontline people, despite fear, maybe some concerns and even questions during this time, yet they have engaged and executed with our members, our mission, and our 5 pillars on a consistent basis.
Right. So when you're talking about courage, again, like you said, I think the best example of that is going to be our drive-through tellers, who, especially when we first started learning about COVID and we weren't sure how it spread, and there were all kinds of rumors and everything going around, our drive-through tellers, some of them were nervous about handling money. Some of them were nervous about just coming into work every day. And that goes for the whole team.
Right.
And we just really appreciate everybody's hard work. We appreciate how courageous everybody was in coming in and doing their job every day. As we learn more, we've been very blessed. We've had very few members that have contracted the virus, but as we have, again, those branches or those departments have been courageous to come back to work. They've handled it perfectly. Everybody's been happy to come back. Everybody's just had the perfect courageous attitude to get it done, and we really appreciate that. When it comes to execution, I mean, this organization, in the 5 years I've been here, we've always executed. We put a task out in front of the team. Again, it doesn't matter what department, it doesn't matter what branch it is, and they execute on it. Again, we keep talking about the recent merger, but from our conversion last year, we're looking at implementing new technologies right now. We're looking at we are going to switch our ITMs. And we had a meeting yesterday where we had team members from throughout the organization that we were talking about what's going to happen when these ITMs get delivered, everything from IT to how we're going to train on it and everything in between. And I think we don't always execute perfectly, but we execute very, very well, and that's because we try to plan up front. But really, again, everything we do to me gets back to the team that we've talked about before, and everything that we do is successful because of the hard work and the ability to adapt when things get tough. And we talk again about perseverance, and that's something that I should have mentioned earlier, is that we don't do everything perfect. Right. We know that, and just in life, things don't always go perfectly. But another great trait about every one of our team members is when they're not perfect, when there's a challenge, when something happens, we pull together rather than spread apart. We're willing to accept change. I will say this, and I think you guys have heard me say this before. I worked at a different credit union before I got here for 10 years, and it was a larger organization than this one. And we were pretty quick. We were pretty progressive. But I've never heard of a credit union put as much change as we have to this organization in the last 5 years. And whatever we throw at this team, particularly a new team as it was 5 years ago with a new leadership team, anything we ask these guys to do, they do it. We do it with a smile on our face. And that's why we're successful. That's why these things change. That's why we win the awards. That's why all these good things happen, is because we challenge the team, but the team just does an excellent, excellent job at persevering through. Whether it goes perfectly, which normally it doesn't, right. But when it doesn't, we take that and we do a great job adapting to it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I did have one more trait, but you actually addressed it. No, that's great. Talking about flexibility and drive, and that has been, to me, the hallmark of my time here in your 5 years, because I've been here almost right. in some capacity. Right. The flexibility and the drive, like, okay, this is the change coming, be flexible, move around, go to mortgage, go downstairs, we're changing this, and all those things. But when we get it, the drive to get it done correctly has been amazing. So I'll give it to you for any closing thoughts on just recognizing this team and thanking this team for what they've done.
Well, let me touch on flexibility.
Yeah.
One other good example that I do want to talk about, and I do want to address is again with our branch team in this case, is when COVID first came out and we were trying to figure out how to reopen the branches. They did such a great job of accepting what we put out. We put out sneeze guards, we put out stickers, we put out some Purell out there. We added a team member out there in the lobby as a branch service leader, but we were not sure how that would go. And we gave them some flexibility, but what we asked is give us feedback, let us know how it goes. And we've made small tweaks throughout, and they have just been the team that has been serving the members out there, just did a great job being flexible, working through, helping us give our members the best experience possible. So I guess to sum it up, we've mentioned all the great qualities of a team, and I just want y'all to know that you have it, and we so much appreciate what you do each and every day. And it's not just the branch team. It is what everybody does. It is the support team here, from the IT team that's supporting us, from the Discovery team that's supporting us, anywhere along the way, from human resources. Everybody supports each other. Everybody has each other's back. And especially during these difficult times, things would not be going as well. We would not be having a record year, which we're on pace to have from a loan growth and asset growth standpoint. Things just would not be going as well as they are if it wasn't for the work that each and every one of you guys is doing every day. So truly, from all of us, we appreciate everything you're doing.
Commitment, team effort, perseverance, discipline, courage, execution, flexibility, or drive Team Alabama won. You have shown the traits of a winning team and a great team. And on behalf of the leadership team and everyone, we say thank you and we see you.